Hey guys, Justin with Deep Dive Stocks here with the second installment of Market Fundamentals. Today we're going to be going over some fundamentals of options. So let's dive right in. So if you're not too familiar with options, this section might seem a little intimidating at first, but I think as we work through the video, you're going to see that options are pretty intuitive. We're going to cover three main topics today, and we're going to do it by looking at an example. So we're going to cover what an option is, how those options can be traded, and finally the value of options. And I think we're going to see that options are really just like coupons, but they have some extra steps built in. And as always, we're going to follow our neighborhood trader Sally around just to see what she's up to. So let's look at how a coupon works. Now, I'm sure most of you know how a coupon works, but let's use some fancy language to describe the process. Let's say that Sally has a coupon to use at the store, and in other words, that since the store gave Sally the coupon, we could say that Sally has a contract issued by the store, and this contract allows her to purchase some goods, in this case apples, and currently apples are selling in the store for $2. The coupon lets her purchase apples for $1. So since the coupons let her purchase an asset for less than the cost of the asset, we would say this coupon lets Sally purchase at a discount. Well, the first thing we might be interested in is how do we describe the value of this coupon? We don't really think of coupons as having values, so they do. So let's have a look. So say we looked at the difference of the cost of using the coupon versus not using it. Since the contract allows Sally to purchase an apple for $1 and the apples cost $2, this means that the coupon would save Sally $1. So the contract has a value of $1 per asset. And this is important. Options values are measured as a per asset basis. So suppose the coupon let Sally purchase $50 for $1 each. Well, the overall value of the coupon would be $50 since it's letting her purchase $50 for $1, so it's $50, but it would maintain its $1 per value or $1 per asset value. And that's how options are priced. They're priced as a per share basis, and since each option is 100 shares, it's something to keep in mind. So what Sally has in market terms is a contract that allows her to purchase at discount a set number of assets with a strike price of $1. And this contract's value is currently at $1 per asset. Well, it's not too shabby. Now that we know how to describe the value of an option, as we continue, we're going to see that there's really only two main differences between coupons and options. The first is that the options work in both ways. They allow you to sell for value as well as purchase for value. The second is that, well, unfortunately, no one probably wants your coupons, but they do want your options. So let's see how that works. Suppose Sally goes to the store and she has a coupon to sell a $10 pumpkin for $20. Wait, what? Like, you can't go to the store and sell back to the store. So the manager comes out and he's like, no, I'm not, this isn't for me. But that is how options work. So as we said, options provide value in both directions. So in market lingo, that means that options allow you to purchase an asset at a discount, which is what we saw, or sell at a premium. So in our example, if you went to the market with a $10 pumpkin and you could have a coupon that's to sell it for $20, you could do just that. So your coupon here would have a $10 value determined just like how we saw in the Apple example. So now that we've seen that like coupons, certain options can be used to purchase an item at discount, but unlike coupons, options also allow you to sell at premium. The last difference between coupons and options is that, well, unfortunately, probably no one wants your coupons, but they do want your options. In fact, when we talk about the value of an option, part of the way we determine the price of the option is based off of how many people want that option. So let's see what that would be like. Suppose Sally has a coupon to purchase milk for $5 that expires in 1 year. Today, milk is selling for $5, so let's say some months pass and milk is now selling for $10. Well, now Sally's coupon has a value of $5. We would say that this is the intrinsic value of the coupon. But suppose a month before the coupon expires, news comes out that all the cows are returning to the moon, presumably to make more cheese. All of a sudden, there's a pretty grave concern, is there going to be any milk in a few days? This drives the cost of milk through the roof, higher and higher and higher each day as people are just running to the store to purchase milk. Now, suppose that Sally's nosy neighbor Neil overheard her talking about having this coupon to purchase milk for $5. Well, since milk is currently at $105 a gallon and is getting more and more expensive, so he barges into Sally's house and he says, I'm going to buy your coupon for $205. Now, Sally's no mathematician, and she's curious as to why Neil would pay more money for the coupon than it's worth. Milk right now is $105. The coupon lets her purchase it for $5. That's a $100 value. So why would Neil pay $200 for it today? Well, it must be because Neil thinks that before the end of the month, before the expiry, the coupon's value will be greater than $200. In other words, Neil thinks that the price of the milk at the end of the month will be more than $205. So, since the price of the milk is rising each and every day, Neil believes that before the expiry, the intrinsic value of the coupon will increase because of how expensive milk is getting. So he's factoring in the future value of the coupon into today's value. This is known as the extrinsic value. So we see that an option has two components to its value. It has both the intrinsic value and the extrinsic value. The intrinsic value is the discount or the premium that the option provides, and the extrinsic value is basically the demand of the option. So this example kind of helped solidify 3 points. The first is that options are both purchased and sold by investors. The second is that options provide value in both directions, to sell at a premium or to purchase at a discount. And finally, the value of an option can be thought of as the combination of the extrinsic and the intrinsic values. So let's start diving a little deeper and see how all this fits together. Let's start with the two types of options and the rights that they provide. The first one we'll go over is a call. A call gives the owner the right to purchase the shares at the strike price by the expiry. We call this the right to purchase at a discount, and these are the ones that are most similar to regular coupons. The other type of option is a put. They allow the owner of the asset, they allow you to sell the asset by the expiry. We call this the right to sell at a premium. This would be the pumpkin example. So 2 more terms that we have to review before we dive just a little deeper. When you purchase an option, it said that you are going long on the option. You might see long in various formats. Typically, it means to purchase something or to have a positive exposure to something. If you sell an option or have negative exposure to some asset, it said that you're short the asset. So if I go long on a call, I've purchased a call. Also, you might see it referred to as to how the position's value changes as the underlying changes. If your position increases in value as the underlying increases, you're long. If your position decreases as the underlying increases, you're short. So sometimes the terms short and long can get a little confusing. For instance, if I'm short a long position or long a short position, that means I've purchased a put whose value decreases as the underlying increases. So it can get a little confusing. But incorporating this into your vocabulary can definitely help with some trader lingo and listening to traders. So moving on, so we said that the options provide rights, but who secures those rights? If Sally has a long call for $5 per share when the price of the underlying is $10 per share, and Sally requests that she gets those shares, who's going to sell them to her? Well, it's going to be the short position. When the long exercises their right, the short position is obligated to fulfill that right, so we got to talk about some of these obligations. So the short calls are obligated to sell at a discount. That means if they sell a call and the person who owns the call wants those shares at the strike, they must sell it to them. If you're short a put, you're obligated to purchase at a premium, which means you have to purchase the shares for more value than they're currently worth in the market. So you kind of have to understand. So there's always 2 pairs to this little dance. When the long value increases, so when the long position increases in value, the short position decreases in value. So we see that for the 2 parties involved in the options transactions, as the value of one side increases, the value of the other side will always decrease. So if Sally goes long on a call and the price of the asset increases, her long call increases in value. If Sally goes short on a call and the price of the asset decreases, then Sally's short call decreases in value. How an options is valued exactly is going to definitely be covered in other videos. It can get a little complicated. But just remember that for every option bought, there's an option sold. Wow, that was a lot. Today we learned that options really aren't that different from coupons at the supermarket. There are just some big differences. The first is that options allow the purchasing at a discount and selling at a premium. The second is that options can be purchased and sold. And finally, we saw that the value of options include demand. And so I hope this was a good introduction into options. There's definitely a lot more to cover in future videos, but I think this provides a good foundation for just getting started. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing, or if there's any topics you want to see discussed next. And as always, happy trading.